So, welcome back. Last week we looked at two specifically Eastern models of spiritual development, Ashtanga Yoga and the Eightfold Noble Path. I hope you were able to see some similarities between these systems and some similarities also to what Fowler was getting at in his stages of faith. This week we're going to be turning our focus to the West. And we're going to be looking at a map of spiritual attainment that we find in Judaism that emerges actually from medieval Judaism. And we're going to be looking at a much older map from the Christian tradition that actually emerges from a fellow named Origen. So this week there's an awful lot of reading. And I'm sorry about that, but I think it's important reading, especially since so many of the people that are going to be coming to us are coming to us from a Jewish or a Christian tradition. Now, I searched far and wide for a good Kabbalah textbook that was going to present the Kabbalah in the context of spiritual development and spiritual growth. I'll tell you, it wasn't easy to find. The text that I did come up with that you'll find on your syllabus isn't perfect, but as I said, it's the best I could find. It does talk about the Kabbalah, or as it's also called the Kabbalah, in a developmental way. It also gives you and a kind of reader-friendly introduction to the history of the Kabbalah. The thing about the Kabbalah is it's so outrageously complex. Sometimes I think that the strategy in the Kabbalah is to simply so overwhelm you with excruciating minutia that the brain snaps and you enter into a mystical state. My fear is that that's actually closer to the truth than not. Nevertheless, it is a very rich and profound tradition, and I hope you will enjoy it reading it. The book that you have in your hands now, as you'll see, it's very colorful. There's a lot of pictures, and its presentation style is actually very reader-friendly, and I find that it takes a very complex subject and presents it in a way that is easily comprehensible and actually very helpful for for a person who's just being introduced to the Kabbalah or the Kabbalah. So please take a look at it, and of course you'll find in it references to other books if you want to go deeper into this specific form of spirituality and this model of spiritual growth. Now, the other book that you've got is a new book that I've just finished writing on Christian mysticism. And the map that you find here comes from the 3rd century and has been expounded upon by many Christian writers ever since then. And it presents a model for spiritual growth that has been foundational for Christian spirituality ever since. If you find the reading overwhelming, I would say skip the chapters that talk about the lives of the mystics, skip the quotations from the mystics, and just really stick to the informational pieces where I'm describing the model itself. And that should make it easier to handle. And of course you can always go back at a later time and read those stories of the mystics, because they kind of put what I'm writing about in context of a person's actual life. So you can kind of read about the theory, but then actually see how it played out in the lives of this or that person. All right, so I know you've got a lot of reading to do, so I'll shut up and I'll let you get to it. Enjoy.